Hi friends, my name is Akil Ahmed, and in this particular video tutorial I will show you how to migrate data from Access database to SQL Server using SSIS. So the agenda of today's video tutorial is that we will see how can we migrate the data from Access database to SQL Server. So without wasting further time, let's jump to the demo. So first of all, I can open the Access software. So I can type Access here and it can open the Microsoft Access software for us. Okay. So first of all, let me create a blank database because right now I don't have a database. So here you need to type the name of the blank database. So by default the database name is this one, like database one. Maybe I can give the database name as customer. Okay, and this is selecting this path C users HP documents. Suppose if you want to create a database on another location, so suppose if I want to create the database on this location D SQL backup, so I can give this path. Okay, so I can browse the location and I can provide the path here. Okay, and then name of the database will be customer here and the extension will be ACCDB. So I can click OK, and then now the customer database will be created at this location D SQL backup. So I can click create and it will create the database. So now the database got created, and by default it will create a blank table, table 1. So if you want to for example create a table, so like how you can create a table, so by default this is the ID column. Now if you want to create a new column, so suppose I want to create a new column like customer first name and then another column like customer last name, then maybe salary or some other column. So here you can select the proper data type. So I can select the data type as long text here because I want to create a column as customer first name, so I can call it as customer FN. Now the next column I want to create is customer last name, so I can call it as customer LN, customer last name. You can give any name, right? This is just a column name. Now another column I want to create a salary, so the data type will be number here, and I can give the column name as salary. Okay, now I can press enter. So these are the columns, those got created: ID, customer first name, then customer last name, then the salary. Now I can insert some data here, like customer first name can be Akil, customer last name can be Ahmad, salary maybe I can give 100. Now let me add another record. So after adding one record you can press enter, which will insert the data into the table. Now another record I can insert as Abhishek, then Kumar, salary maybe 1110, enter. So if you notice here, as soon as you press enter, so it can automatically increase the value for the ID here. Okay, so I just added two records here. So now I can close this one. So when you will close it, so it will ask you like, do you want to save the changes to the design of table 1? So I can say yes. Now it's asking like what name you want to give to the table. So maybe I can give the table name as customer and I can click OK. So it has added a customer table here. Okay, so if you want to see the data here, so you can see like customer and click open. So it will open the customer table for you. Okay, so now I want to migrate the data from this customer table into the SQL Server. So I can close this one for now. Now I want to create a table in the database. So this is my SQL Server instance, and let me create a table here, cust table here. Okay, so we have the same columns like ID, customer first name, customer last name, salary. Maybe if you want to change the name here, for example you want to give like customer first name and then customer last name, so you can change the columns a bit, it doesn't matter, so that's okay. Now we have the similar columns here, so I can click execute. So this will create a cust table in the school database at my SQL Server 2019 instance. Now let's create a SSIS package to migrate the data. So right now we should not have any data in the cust table, so I can write the select query at this particular instance. So right now the table is empty, so that's okay. Now this is my blank SSIS package which we'll be using today. So to migrate the data from any source to any destination, we use the data flow task. So first of all, we can just simply drag and drop the data flow task into the control flow window. Now the data flow task has been added to the control flow, so we can just double click it and we can configure it. Now to migrate the data, we can use the OLEDB source from the other sources into the data flow task, and we can configure the OLEDB source here. Click new to create a new OLEDB connection manager, click new, and now it will open the connection manager pane. So from the provider type you can select the Microsoft Office 12.0 Access Database Engine. So click OK. And now here inside the server or file name you need to provide the full file name, the complete file name along with the file path here. So my file name of the access database is this one, customer.accdb. So I can copy this one. Okay, and now I can paste the value inside the file name. Now I can click test connection. So the test connection is succeeded, so that's great. So I can click OK, OK, OK. Now from the name of the table or view you can just click on the drop down and it will show you the customer table that we created. So that's okay. I can click on the preview, so it will show you the available data in the access database. So this is working absolutely fine. I can click close and I can click OK. Now to insert data into a SQL Server table we can use the OLEDB destination. Now we can connect the OLEDB source with the OLEDB destination and we can configure the OLEDB destination. So we can create a new connection to the school database. We already have a connection that we already created in recent videos, so we can use this connection. It's very easy to create an OLEDB connection. You can watch my other videos as well, like how to import the data into the SQL Server table from a CSV file or Excel file. Now from the data access mode we can use the table or view fast load, and from here we can select the table in which you want to insert the data to. So I created a table with the name cust, so I can select the cust table here. Now I can click on mappings, and now the ID and salary column, they got mapped automatically because the column name was similar, but the customer first name and customer last name, they did not get matched automatically because the column names are a bit different. So I can map them manually as well. So I can click OK. Now if you see here, it's giving an error. It's saying that the customer columns, customer FN and customer first name cannot convert between Unicode and non-Unicode string data type. The reason is from the source, when you created the columns in the Access database, so it actually uses the nvarchar max. So to check the metadata of the columns, we can right click here and click on edit. Now if you go to the metadata, so you can see the data type here, it's DT and text. So it's not actually DT WSTR, it's DT and text. Okay, so DT and text needs to be converted to the DT STR. Okay, so for storing the data in the database in SQL Server, we have different type of data types, like we have char, we have varchar, we have text. Okay, these are the non-Unicode data type. Now if you talk about the Unicode data type, so we have ntext, we have nchar, we have nvarchar. Okay, so here in this particular case, in the source table, the data type is ntext. However, if you look at the data type here in the SQL Server, so it is varchar. So we need to convert the data type from ntext to the varchar. Okay, so that's the thing. So how we can do that? We can actually first use the derived column to convert the data type, and then we can use the data conversion. So I will show you like how we can do that. So first of all, just connect the OLEDB source with the derived column, and here you need to use the typecast here. Okay, so we can use the DT_WSTR to convert the data type from DT and text to the DT WSTR. DT WSTR is equivalent to nvarchar. So first we will convert from ntext to nvarchar, and then we can easily convert from nvarchar to the varchar because our final data type is varchar. Okay, if you directly use the data conversion transformation, then it won't allow you to convert the value from DT and text to the DT STR. Let me show you like what I'm talking about. So for example, if I directly use the data conversion transformation here, okay, if I directly use it, okay, now I select the customer first name, so it's showing Unicode text stream DT and text. Okay, now if I directly convert it to DT STR, so it won't take it. Okay, but this is the final one that I need. So if I double click on it, so you can see that it got reverted to the DT and text automatically. So that's why we cannot use the data conversion here. Instead we need to use the derived column transformation, and now inside the derived column transformation we can use the typecast, and we can use the DT_WSTR, which can convert the data into the nvarchar. Okay, so the length we can give maybe 50, and here we need to give the column name. So the column name is customer FN. So I will call the new column name as customer fn underscore copy, maybe I can call it like this. Same way we can do it for the last name as well, ln, and we can call it as customer ln copy. Okay, so now what happened here, two new columns got added into the data flow, customer fn copy and customer ln copy, and the data type of these two columns will be nvarchar. Okay, so I can click OK. Now we can simply convert the data from nvarchar to the varchar. It can be easily converted, so I can uncheck this one, and now I can select these columns which are right now in nvarchar format, so we can easily convert them into the varchar format, and the varchar is the data type in our destination columns. Okay, so the columns got converted here, and the output alias of the column will be copy of customer fn copy. Okay, so I can click OK. Now if you double click on it, then they will be in str, string format, varchar format. So I can click OK. Now I can connect the data conversion with the OLEDB destination, and in the mapping I can select the copy of first name, copy of last name, and I can click OK. So now the error has gone, and if I execute the SSIS package, then the data should be converted from the Access database to the SQL Server. So this this particular practice, this will be applicable only for the string columns. If you have the like integer column, money column, and I think the date column, then I think you don't need to do the any kind of data conversion. So now the package ran fine, and if I select the data from the cust table, so you can see that the data got migrated successfully from the Access database to the SQL Server table. So if the data in the table is in, for example, it's in the end text format, then you don't need to do the conversion. But if the data type is in the, for example, varchar, then we use the two tasks here, the first derived column, another data conversion. Now suppose if the data type of the table was like nvarchar 50 or nvarchar 50 for all the columns, then you don't need to use the data conversion as well, because in the first conversion we already converted it to the nvarchar here, nvarchar 50. Okay, so the two conversion tasks are used if you are using the varchar data type in the destination columns. Yes, so I think that's it for today's video, and if you got any question, then you can let me know. Thank you guys for watching the video, and if you like the video, then please click the like button, do subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and click on all, so that you will be notified every time we do a new video. Thank you so much.